What's up, YouTubers? Hardworker12 with you here with a beautiful trade-in that I took a few days ago. Had a gentleman trade this in for a brand new Subaru Forester, and this is a 1986 Chevrolet El Camino. I believe it's a base model. It's got an aftermarket tonneau cover. Got some nice chrome rims on her. It's got a nice dent in the back. Apparently somebody with a trailer hitch on a big pickup did him a little hit and run in the parking lot right next to the Support Our Troops sticker. I have never driven an El Camino. I know people love these things. In fact, when I was in college, I went to college in a small town in Northern California, and there was this one El Camino. I think it was maybe a couple of years older than this, but same body style. And it had a license plate frame that said "Happiness is driving an El Camino." So we're going to try to learn about happiness today. First thing I'm going to look at is the cargo area. So there she is with the tonneau cover up. This is as far as this thing goes up, which seems a little bit funny. It basically turns this into the biggest trunk ever. But just to kind of give you some scale, there's 4 rims right there. So you can fit 4 rims plus, I'd say 4 Costco shopping trips into the back of this thing. So for a 2-door coupe, I mean, obviously it has some truck aspirations, but this one's essentially a 2-door coupe with a trunk. That's the biggest trunk you're gonna find on a vehicle. Under the hood, we have a beautiful Goodwrench 350 5.7 liter small block Chevy SB. See you later. This is not the original engine for this car. Apparently it originally had a 305. The 305 gave up the ghost, as they do sometimes, so it was replaced with a 350. And I don't know where the lid for that is. I think there's some coolant in there. Pretty simple engine compartment. Air conditioner was updated recently, so that should work. But yeah, there's your engine. Let's see what there is to see on this thing. Yeah, you can see right there, originally this had a 5 liter. I don't know if that's showing up, but it's showing a 5 liter. And some of the timing information, which is kind of worn off. Carbureted, apparently, showing a carb on there. So yeah, not the original engine, but not too much of a surprise. Let's have a look at the interior. As soon as you open the door to get in the interior, you see that, the little carriage with body by Fisher. Fisher was a company that General Motors bought, I don't know, 100 years ago or something, and when all cars used to be separate body on frame, they were the part of General Motors that actually made the bodies, and these little stamps stayed on there for years and years, but they're not anymore. So that's old school GM right there, body by Fisher. I'm sure that brings back some memories for some of you. Now, when I say base model El Camino, I mean base model El Camino. So you can see it's missing a tachometer. I'm sure if it was an upgraded package for 1986, it would have a tach. How many miles are on this beast? Well, 26,150. Would you believe that for a 1986? Probably not. I wouldn't believe it either. This is the interesting habit of American automakers that really lasted right up through the 80s of only putting 5 digits on odometers. I don't think they thought their cars were going to last more than 100,000 miles, because they clearly didn't plan on it. Of course, this one would. As everyone knows, General Motors cars run bad longer than most cars run at all. We have roll-up windows, so your electric windows are not going to break. We have a little controller here to adjust the exterior rear view mirror on the driver's side. But as far as I can tell, there's no little knob at all to do the same thing on the passenger side. So I guess that one, you're on your own manual adjustments. You have the slider climate controls there. It does have air conditioning, which is nice. We'll see if it works when I start it up. You have your little controls for the hazard lights here. Column shifter, which I absolutely love. And we'll talk about the keys for a minute, because GM keys from back in the day were funny. You would get 2 sets of keys for each car. So this one with the circle on it, this is to like unlock the outside door. And then the square one, oops, not that one. The square key is what fits in the ignition. But as you can see, there's only one correct way to put this key into the ignition. So it goes in well like that, but if I turn it around, it doesn't work. And I've heard more than one story of people breaking their ignition cylinders or their door locks on the outside because they were trying to put the key in the wrong way and it didn't work. But anyway, let's give this 350 a cold start and see what she does. Give it a little gas, maybe. There we go.
Thank you.
Also, I would be remiss if I did not point out the gorgeous blue velour interior. In pretty good shape considering the age of the car. Does have some dog hair on it, but that happens in trade-ins. And seating for 3 across the middle. Gotta love that. And the air conditioner, I can report, does blow cold. So let's take this beauty for a drive. All right, so driving the El Camino. Now I've kind of placed my camera in a different position so that you can have the point of view drive, but also to show just how vague the steering is on this car. I mean, you really have to turn this wheel and work it to kind of get it on the path that you want it to go. The guy that traded it in said he really didn't know how many miles were on it. He wasn't the original owner, and he said he thought it might have about 300,000 miles on the body and about 65,000 miles on the engine. The car, if it really does have 300,000 miles on it, feels pretty good as far as the actual structure of the body. Transmission shifts a little firmly, but feels fine. It's not slipping. V8 doesn't, I mean, it is a V8 obviously, but I don't know, if this were my car, I would definitely have to put some Flowmasters on it or something so I could have it sort of sound more like I expect a V8 to sound, because it's just kind of and the engine feels okay. When you turn it off, there's some rod knock or something, I think. I don't really know that this motor's long for this world. I kind of feel like it was probably a used engine when he had it put in 65,000 miles ago. I don't think it was brand new unless it's been poorly maintained or something. I love the view over the hood on this vehicle. It's just fantastic, nice, big, long, square hood with the Chevy hood ornament at the end of it. I just think that looks great. I'm 6'5". To be comfortable in this car, I would probably need another 4 inches worth of leg room. I'm just a little bit cramped in here. This isn't a vehicle that I could drive every day, but I certainly see the appeal. I mean, you have all that cargo room underneath. You have a great view over the hood. You have huge power potential. I mean, small block Chevy, you know, V8, you can put whatever motor you want and have pretty much as much horsepower as you want in an El Camino, and it's body on frame, so it's going to take it in rear wheel drive. So I definitely see why people like these things. It is a cool car, and it is very different. I mean, nobody builds a car like this anymore. You know, in Australia, they're very popular, mate. They got their utes. Oh, climbing up the hill, the glove box popped open. Yeah, this 350 does not. I'm doing 25, 30 miles an hour, and my foot was pretty far down, and this thing, I said it has the potential for power, but this one is not living up to that potential right now. It is just not fast at all. I mean, a four-banger Subaru Impreza gets up that hill better than this, and I should know because I've driven them up there a million times. But it's an old car. It's got a lot of miles on it. You know, I'm sure it could use some reconditioning. I have no idea what's going to happen to this thing. We'll probably wholesale it, and then the wholesaler can figure it out, go to auction. Somebody will buy it. Some mechanic will buy it. I don't know. Obviously, it's not the kind of car you're going to retail. And this steering is just, I don't know if you can see that on your screen, if it's coming through, but you just can turn this wheel and you just barely get much out of it. And again, I'm gonna floor it. I'm flooring it going up this hill. It's coming on a little bit, but that's 40 miles an hour. That was 40 miles an hour getting up that hill floored with a 5.7 liter V8. So yeah, this thing is not running as strong as it could be, but let's see. Let's make this left and see how it likes this road. All right, here we go. Get it through the turn. Give it some gas. Oh, downshift. Oh, there's a little power. That's 45. That's 50. Maybe the transmission wasn't cooperating with me trying to get up that hill. That might have been part of the issue. I mean, it's not fast, but for a 5.7 liter V8, this is like the bad old days of American cars of, you know, how do they get such a small amount of power out of such a large engine? But, you know, it'd be real easy to work on it. You know, probably a simple tune-up. I mean, this motor might be done. I'll get a shot of the rod knock when I shut it down. But, you know, you get a simple tune-up and an intake and an exhaust and a cam, and, you know, you're probably 90 horsepower up just on that. So you could definitely get more out of it. But as it sits, just a standard replacement 350 small block with however many miles it has on it, yeah, it gets down the road, but just barely. And the fuel gauge is vacillating wildly. At the moment, I have anywhere between a half a tank of gas and almost no gas. So I don't know if it really likes my foot to the floor shenanigans. So I'm gonna take it easy and get this sucker back to the lot.
Well, I guess my flooring it fixed the rod knock.
So anyway, that is my review slash test drive slash first and last impression. I don't know if I'll ever drive another El Camino, but I certainly wouldn't be opposed to it. I like the car. A little bit too small on the inside for me. Trunk's gigantic. Love the hood. I can definitely see why people love them. And you know, it's unique, especially in this day and age. I mean, these days everybody drives big pickup trucks, SUVs. I don't know, somehow this thing just looks sleek. I mean, look at that. It really does look sleek compared to the, you know, metal boxes that everybody drives. No slight on Subaru. I love Subarus. That was just what was behind me for the shot. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. If you don't like the video, please also like and subscribe, because I don't care. I'll take the haters too. Have a great day. Bye-bye.